Boom, we are back with another edition of the Quarantinecast. Like always, I'm really excited for these. I am joined by two guests this time, which I think is the first time I've ever done this. I'm joined by Jonathan Kunneman, who's been on before, and UFC Light Heavyweight Devin Clark. How are you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing good.
Doing well.
So I'll start with you, Devin. It's fight week. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. Yeah, it's been quite a while coming for this fight here. I was supposed to fight in May, then I got COVID in April, so I had to cancel the fight. But I'm fighting Ion Cutelaba still. I was supposed to fight him before, and now we're on again. So, I'm waiting to fight this guy. I'm excited about it.
Were you excited to have it rebooked, or did it really matter to you whether it was the same opponent or a different matchup?
Yeah, me and my team, we actually asked for Cutelaba specifically. I think it's a really good fight. It's a guy that I can go out there and I don't have to like him because he's kind of a D-bag. So I don't like his antics. So it just makes it all that more real for me to beat him up.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about that. I mean, he tends to try to get under opponent's skin before the fight. In terms of motivation, is it easier to get motivated for a guy you don't like versus a guy you do like?
I'd say so. You don't have to lie to yourself about hurting him, In this case, I want to hurt him. I'm not going to feel bad about it. And I'm a super nice guy. I've never been in a street fight before, so this is usually purely competition for me and sport for me when I get into the cage. But this one's a little different. Like I can actually let loose and let some of my demons go and actually have a little hatred in my heart when I'm fighting this dude.
I want to talk a little bit about your last fight. I mean, it was against Anthony Smith, a guy very dangerous. It was a change of opponents. You've also never lost back-to-back fights. How do you feel you match up versus Ion versus Anthony Smith?
I think a lot better just due to my current situation. I was going through a lot leading up to that fight, so I think it's safe to say that I wasn't fully focused on the Anthony Smith fight. I kind of just wanted to brawl, and he actually game planned and put together a good fight. But this one, it's been a pretty stress-free camp. I haven't, last camp I had to worry about getting COVID and all that shit, and the before that dealing with stuff with my mother-in-law passing away, and now it's just we've been able to focus for months just on this fight, so it's pretty nice.
And obviously, I want to talk to you, John, as well. You had a huge win there, your pro debut up in Alaska. What was the experience like to going up to Alaska to make that pro debut?
It was a travel, man. It was me and Steve Garcia were laughing up there because it was like when we first got there, it just felt like we were in another country. Like it didn't even feel like the United States, just how everything was like ran, and like we got to the hotel and they didn't have our like reservations, so we're sitting there at like 2 a.m. like trying to figure everything out. So honestly, it was kind of like the actual like process getting to the fight was a little stressful, with just everything going on, how with all the COVID stuff and getting up there and doing all that. It was unlike any fight that I've ever had as far as like travel and just preparation and getting through like fight week protocol.
How good does it feel to get that first pro victory under your belt?
Feels good. When you start training, when I as a fighter, when you're young, I was 17, looking towards this. So I've been looking at this day for 4 years, and from all the way back to my first amateur fight. Throughout my amateur career, I look towards, the day where I'll actually get paid to fight and my record counts and every decision I make affects my career officially now. And so it's something that you look toward, from the day you start training and fighting. And I'm happy to finally be at that stage now.
I want to talk a little bit about the two of you. Obviously, you're training at one of the best gyms, and if not the best gyms in all of MMA there at Jackson Wink. What is it like for you, John, to be with people like Devin Clark, John Jones, Holly Holm, day in and day out, and build with people like that?
It's cool because, especially with Devin, we're from the same region. I'm from Omaha. He's from South Dakota, and you get guys that are, can help you in various ways. Me and Devin train a lot. We do lots of wrestling, and someone you can get good experience with. There's so many veterans here that can add knowledge to your game and give you skills, and so it's like having that opportunity as a young fighter is definitely a blessing to be able to get wrestling rounds with him and training with everybody that's here for sure.
And then for you, Devin, when you have a guy like John or any of these other young guys in the gym, what's it like being surrounded by these young up and comers, and do you find that's motivation for yourself as well?
It's just kind of like a beautiful connection between everybody, because no matter what rank you are or what level you're at, everybody's putting in work in here, and we all spar together. And John, he's a little ahead of the game, right? So he's able to go just fine with any of the pros and put on a good practice, and we both get a lot out of it. So it's beautiful that you can actually do that with such a different level. He's on his come up. I've been in the UFC for a while now, but we still get that same work that I would get with John Jones or anyone else. So it's super cool that Mike Winklejohn and Greg Jackson, they have this place where all these fighters from around the world, all over the world, can get together and try to get better and prove themselves daily.
One of the coolest things I see on Instagram all the time, whether it's Arlene Blanco, Holly Holm, you, John, you're always posting about you guys up in the mountains. What sort of training is that? Is that just cardio? What is it you guys are doing up there?
It's kind of both. Like when you're in fight camp, especially, it's a good way to get out mentally and clear your head a little bit, get some good views in. And some of it's training. Sometimes we're up running, hitting mitts up there, doing sprints on the dam or doing sprints, on hills and stuff like that. Sometimes it's just having fun. You want to go out, shoot guns or do whatever. It's both, I guess. Like it's a mixture of fun and training.
And then there's a little story that I was told about. I don't know the details, but what exactly happened to the two of you getting lost out there in the desert?
Okay. So it was me and John, one of our striking coaches, Coach Alex, and the gym manager, Misha. I think it's about 2 hours away. We drove
to the 4, wasn't it?
I don't know.
It was far. I think it was like 4 hours.
It's through the BC Badlands, and we're in my truck, and we get out there. We park the truck, and we just start walking, and we think that we're marking stuff. And this guy here, he brings a SAS, like a SAS book, like what's SAS?
SAS Survival, the Special Air Service, like it's like a survival book from the British SAS.
So he brings this, and
the calorie thing.
Yeah.
So hold on, they were laughing at me because I had these 7,000 calorie protein survival bars for when you get lost, and they're all making fun of me, like because I have these like survival bars in my bag. Continue.
He acted like we were going to Everest or something, but so we get out there and he's marking stuff, and instead of marking it the right way, he's just drawing dicks in the sand for markers. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna see that. And so then we walk in for about an hour or so, and we do our training. And like you said, it was fun, but we also trained a little bit, hit mitts, got some good videos and stuff like that. Then on the way back, we had no idea where we were.
But who got us lost?
Well, Misha got us lost, and then you guys argued, so you got us lost.
No.
So it was kind of one of those deals where they were going back and forth, like, oh, we should go this way, or we should go this way, and then ended up, like, one person trying to fix it got us lost. So we end up, like, walking through these weeds and just off terrain, and there's snakes, and, like, we're, it turned into a good adventure.
When we were lost, I was the one. If we were starving, I was the one eating the 7,000 calorie protein bar. They had no food. And Misha was the one who was like, no, guys, we have to go this way. We have to go this way. And I was like, no, we have to go southwest, or southeast, which is where our car was, because I kept that general direction. And we were going like straight like east. We weren't even going south. And when we were lost, I was the one who had the food and the protein bar. So I'm completely, my hands are washed of getting us lost. Wasn't even me. But it was a good adventure, though.
How long were you guys out there? Was it like a concerning worry, or was it just like a couple hours?
No, like we were confident that we would be able to find a road.
Eventually, yeah, we'd get to a road.
I think we walked for maybe like another, like, probably went 20, 30 minutes out of the way. And just had to go through more terrain and stuff like that.
There was definitely a point though where we were kind of like nervous, laughing, like we were like making jokes. Like we would get there and think we were gonna like get to where we knew where we were at, and then we would get there and we would be like, wait,
we're way off.
We're way off, and then we'd be like, I think we're not where we're supposed to be, and so we were kind of like nervous, but we like knew we'd be fine, I guess. But that's the New Mexico adventures. That's why it's kind of nice fighting here, because you get fun stuff like that. You know, there's so many different things to do out here in New Mexico while you're training. So
it almost seems like it's like a fight week for someone every week there. The gym's so big. There's so many guys. What is fight week for you like, Devin, since it's coming up?
So I do things a little differently, and since the fights have pretty much just been stationed in Vegas, I drive my truck to camp. So from South Dakota, I drive my truck to Albuquerque, and then I'll drive from Albuquerque to Las Vegas, and then from Las Vegas I'll drive home. So I'll leave tomorrow afternoon or evening, get to Vegas on Tuesday. I'll usually stop, for the night. Don't want to drive too long, fight week. But just kind of take my time getting there and really let it sink in that I'm going into a fight. And a lot of just, I'm driving by myself. So just like a lot of self-talk, going through the fight, going through the different stuff. And I'm really able to focus and get into that, routine. So then once I arrive in Vegas, it's business time. It's go time. It's time to go to work. So we'll get there, check in, and now with all the COVID stuff, we have to do the COVID tests, get checked in, get food figured out, and kind of relax, and then start cutting weight about Thursday morning.
I love it. I'll ask a couple more here, and then I'll let you guys go. I know there's a game on. With a gym like that, there's
no one cares about the Packers game except me.
I'm not even that big of a fan. I was just like telling myself during fight week, I was all like I need to watch some football this year, because I haven't really been watching much in the last few years. But
you decided to watch the Packers. Yeah.
I've been a Packer fan my whole life. I'm not a hardcore fan. They're the team I follow.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Just kind of Packers have always been my team, even though I only know one player. But same sort of thing. One of the questions I always have for bigger gyms is there's always people fighting. Right? Whether someone's fighting for the UFC, someone else is fighting for Bellator. How do you manage where your coaches go?
I think there's kind of like an unsung, almost thing here where it's like a good rotation. Like fighters know, almost there's going to be coaches behind. So maybe they're not going to take the coach the whole time they're for fight week. Maybe the coaches will come a couple days later, and we have a lot of coaches here too. We got probably 10 coaches here.
Yeah. So, and then every fighter is a little bit different.
And who they have. Yeah.
And who they have.
Not everyone uses Greg and Wink.
Yeah. So it's it could be a mixed match deal, but this weekend for my fight, we have 4 fighters fighting. So there's a group of coaches going to the Bellator fights and a group of coaches going to the UFC fights, and then there's another group going to whatever promotion is fighting. So,
all right, perfect.
We have 10 guys I think fighting this weekend, so it's something crazy like that. So, and that other thing too is some of the higher level teammates sometimes will go out and corner some of the smaller fights too. If Greg, Wink, Joey, and Alex went out are all busy. That's the thing. We have a good. I don't know even how to say it. I guess it's we have a good chemistry on getting guys to make sure they got somebody, and whether it's I had Steve Garcia. He's not technically a coach here, but he's in the UFC. He's been training here under Greg and Wink for a decade at least. 10, 15 years, and so he's got all their knowledge and a lot of their mindset that he can put in behind me. He's cut weight. Knows how to cut weight, knows how to get someone calm and all that. So we have, even if it's not Greg or Wink cornering you, we've got so many guys that can if, it's a busy weekend.
All right. Well, best of luck this weekend to you, Devin, and for you, John. Hopefully we can get something coming up soon, man. I can't wait to watch you compete next. So best of luck, and we'll see you guys next time.